material for this teardrop. Even though it's labeled a teardrop camper, it's not at all what it is, but it is a small camper, and I'm really excited to show it to you. So let's just go around the whole thing, and I'll talk a little bit about everything. So when you talk about trunk or tongue trunks or tongue toolboxes, they're super expensive. They're anywhere from $230 to $600 depending on how nice you want. And here I find this old steam trunk at a yard sale for 10 bucks. So what I did is I took it, I gutted it out, and I did on the inside of it, I did the poor man's fiberglass, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But on the outside of it, I put 4 coats of bed liner on it, 4 coats of bed liner, and then I painted it. And so it's super sturdy to begin with. It's kind of covered in tin and then stripped in wood pieces, and then on top of all of that is the bed liner. So it turned out really nice. I thought I put this deer antler on for a handle, but on the inside then is where my batteries are, and everything that I'm going to show you on the camper is ran by these 2 batteries. Now currently I have the outlets over here where you can see for AC, because the campground that we're in actually has the AC outlets, so we got that plugged in as well. But everything else is ran off of these 2 batteries, which is 12 volt. Of course, along with it, I have a backup battery charger and a tire inflator in case I need that. Then I got my meters here to test everything, make sure it's good to go. In this box here, I have all my electrical stuff that I need to do electrical work if needed, and it all fits in here perfect. And then I also have my ham radio, which I don't have hooked up yet because the antenna, I understand, is like $200 and some. So for a good one. So that's a future thing. Another future thing is I actually built this part and made it a slant on purpose, because in the future I'm going to put a solar panel, a 100-watt solar panel. So it's 1 inch wider and 1 inch wider this way than the actual solar panel. So it'll go here, and then the inverter and those things will then be connected on the inside of the box. All right, so that's that. Here is just a PVC pipe, and on both ends I have this unscrew cap, and in there is a huge umbrella that I'll show you in a minute, but it fits in there when I'm traveling down the road. It's absolutely wonderful. So then these things here, this here is just a regular flag post holder, and my wife found these in a garage sale, and she says, "Greg, you think you can use these?" And this here was about like 6 feet long, so I cut it off, I put it there, bam, you got shade above the door. Each door and the walls are wood. Then on top of the wood I put which you'll see at the very end, but I put a reflecting insulation that you would put on top of your attic to help reflect the heat away from your house. Well, I put that in here, and then between the wood and that, on top of that, I used a cloth and did the poor man's fiberglass. That's wood glue and water, 50%. You soak your material in it, and I use duck blind material is what I use. Some people use t-shirts and that kind of stuff, but it just gets too pieced out, and I didn't want all those seams. So I found this duck blind material, works perfect, and then you paint on there the wood glue. Take your material, you scrape it on there, and then let it dry. Then after it dries, you give it a light sand, and you do another 50-50 wood glue, 50 water on top of that, and let it dry again. And then after that, that's a poor man's fiberglass. This is very sturdy, waterproof. I did all the testing that I needed. Then a buddy of mine helped me with the metal trim. He made the metal trim for this entire thing for me, all the way around. Just makes it more structurally sound, and so that's outstanding. The next thing is both this bubble window and the window that I use for my doors. If you check on any website for camper windows, again, super expensive. And what I did is I went online and I searched around, and even bubble windows from the old 1970 vans, or they're 150 to 250 depending on what you're getting. I found these, and this is 8 times stronger than glass, and these are for pets on a yard fence, a privacy fence. People put these on there, but it's made of acrylic and it's super strong. It needs to be cleaned because I'm out here in the woods and it's dusty, but outstanding find, only 20 some bucks, and it made it well worth it. Same with this. This is tempered glass here and everything, but the website I found for these, and they seal, they come up, there's a screen in there, is for playhouses. But again, it's tempered glass. It's very durable. Again, 20 some bucks a window. Outstanding price. And then I went to Zoomers. I'm going to give a shout out to Lamoni Zoomers. It's a brand new camping store in Lamoni, Iowa, and that's where I got my handles from. I ordered it from them, and it really turned out well. I'll show you the inside last. These on top of the fenders, I built these custom. It's a piece of metal sandwiched styrofoam, and I cut it down and I made these as coolers. So on this side I have water, and then the cooler in the other side I have pop and stuff. But this is really an outstanding way to save space, and at the same time it looks structurally fine. I got an ammo box here. In the ammo box I got it mounted on the trailer, and this is a 4x8 trailer, but I have this mounted here, and this is where just some basic tools are, things that you might need here, there, or whatever. But again, the ammo box works fine for that, and it's very secure. Outstanding. So let's move around here. So up here is a huge umbrella, but the reason why I chose it to use, because instead of a regular awning, just because of my military theme and the camouflage, it kind of looks like a parachute, so it's kind of cool that way. But if you come in here closer, I'll show you all this, and everything that I'm showing you is ran off of those 2 batteries. So I got a 15-gallon water tank that I placed in here. Holds 15 gallons of water, and then that storage space over there. But it's all hooked up. You push that, and you have running water. Outstanding. You got lights here. Outstanding. And then when you turn it off, of course, the water stops as well. And then I got soap dispenser here, paper towels. Up here is where I would keep dishes. Up here, supplies. I got masa for anybody that makes batter for fish. Instead of white flour, man, you got to use corn masa. It's absolutely wonderful. But anyway, and then I made up my own spice. It's secret remedy, but it's a don't tread on me spice. It's a spice that's I took my favorite spices for chicken, fish, and steak, and I blended it perfectly together in this, and so I can use it for any one of those things while I'm camping. Outstanding. Got a huge container of coffee. Anybody that's ex-military gotta have your coffee, so I definitely brought the coffee with me. Then in the center I have what I call my mobile bar and party place. All right, so you got your Jameson or whatever. I got a speaker here, which I'll show you. I have a radio on the inside that plays music, CD players, and the whole 9 yards. But this is outstanding. This will hold your cups. This is your little bar right here, and it's outstanding. It works well. All right, so then then on the inside of the doors, of course, you need to utilize the space as much as possible. So here I have my camelback, I have my machete, my camping axe, of course the saw. Anytime you're camping, these are essential items that you really need to have, especially if you're going hiking or whatever. You don't want to carry a lot of water. The camelback's perfect. I have my first aid kit. I have a survival shovel. You never know when you need the shovel. Even then, you got to go number 2 in the woods. You can't just leave that stuff. You got to make sure you bury it. I got my little rabbit trap. A friend of mine, Jeff Boswell, I'm going to give him a shout out. He had a relative that had the old bayonets that we used to stick on our weapons and stuff, and when I first joined and went to boot camp, this is the very style of bayonets we used at that time, and it's razor sharp. I know, because I cut my thumb the other day just trying to put it in here. So but that's outstanding. I told him I'd find a special place on this camper to have that, so there it is. As far as this goes, I had to put some hooks here and here to mount this, so it really holds the if a big wind comes up or whatever. And then on the back of each door I have a hook that these flaps come down on, so it works really well. And then if it really does need more, I still have these D-rings on each side that I could stake them down, but right now we really don't need it. So this is outstanding. Oh, and my oldest daughter, shout out to her, she gave me this solar mosquito killer. She says, Dad, if you're going camping, you got to kill the mosquitoes. So it's solar, you turn it on, and it starts zapping mosquitoes. So it's outstanding, and I love this little compartment. Oh, and that's something else. Everybody calls this a galley. Well, I'm U.S. Army, and we're on the land. We're not on sea. So sorry, Navy brothers, but this is my chuck box, because that's from the old 1800s. The old chuck wagons and stuff, so that's what I call this, my chuck box. I want to show this too. I actually built this table that comes out to specifically hold this grill right here, and I think it's outstanding. But when I travel, and I looked for a grill all over the place that had these snaps, just because I knew I was going to be traveling. But again, this sits right in there perfect. And this folds up into the door just like that, and the door's shut, and it works absolutely wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to take you to the inside and show you what's on the inside. All right, this is an outstanding, it's very well insulated in here. I'll put the lady's name that made this quilt for me just for this, but she'll do this for you too, and she does it in all styles. We all seen the different colored stripe to represent different things. Well, again, military theme, and a salute to my brothers in arms out there and all armed forces. So brothers and sisters in arms, sorry. And so I wanted her to make me a green one, so she did an outstanding job here. And then I put these little, they snap down for your drinks. Throw your keys in there. They work wonderful. Well, just stuff this in your pocket at night and stuff. This here is a light, is touch. You touch it the first time, just a blue light comes on. It's like a night light in here. It works really well. You touch it again, and it really lights up the whole inside here to do anything that you need to do. You touch it again, and it goes off. Again, ran by the 12-volt batteries. If you look directly up, I put in this skylight, so I'll be able to watch the stars and stuff, and when I'm going to sleep, it's outstanding. And this here is a fan to, of course, draw out the heat, and a lid that shuts. It works really well. Then over here I put in these cupboards. This is the radio. Who do I have in there? John Denver. Not bad. Anyway, I got my turn that down just a little bit. So I have my temperature just so that I can see how hot it is on the inside. I knew that I couldn't get an air conditioner for something this small right now, so I really looked around in the